Hello, my sunshine, and welcome to a new episode of the Hot Girl Morning Podcast. I'm so excited and so grateful to have you here. In today's episode, I want to talk to you about how to take life a little bit less serious and just create more space for joy and fun and adventure and how to romanticize life, because I think sometimes you need to zoom out and just not focus so much on all the things that are not working out perfectly. And I also feel like that there are just sometimes different phases in your life. And I don't know how it is for you, but these last days and this last week, I felt so tired. And for some reason, like all the people around me also, like, we're so tired. Just, I don't know if it's the rainy July that we have been going through or what it is, but I am currently just in this phase of, like, don't get me wrong, like, I'm doing a lot of like work stuff, but I realized, okay, I am tired and I have been trying to push myself a little bit too much instead of creating the space to listen to myself and to listen to what is really going on. And I realized I got into this fixing mode again, where whenever I wouldn't feel my best, the first thing I thought about doing is, well, I need to fix this. And then I kind of had that epiphany a couple of days ago. Okay, there's nothing that needs to be fixing. There's like, my body and mind are trying to tell me something and I'm obviously ignoring it. And the reason why I'm tired for such a long amount of time is because I haven't been listening. So what I have been training myself to do these past days is to listen again and to listen to what is going on internally and what it is trying to tell me. And with that, I also realized that sometimes we see those like struggles and difficult parts of our life and our full attention, our like everything we do, like we focus on that. And I forgot to see how beautiful everything else is right at the moment. And I think sometimes to really consciously then create a moment of fun and adventure and joy and figure out a way to take care of yourself is so detrimental, because it takes away like that whole that just like that deep feeling this that just brings you down, when there's so much good things that you could be focusing on as well. And if you know me, you know that this is not about ignoring things that are happening in the world. And I think if you're listening to me, probably you're also like, you're aware of what is going on in the world. It is sometimes really hard to be a person who wants to be informed, but also wants to take care of themselves and not be drained by it. So it's like really that thin line that you're walking on. But I will get into all of this very, very soon. If you don't know, my name is Greta. I'm an accountability and empowerment coach. And on this podcast, we talk about all things personal growth and mindfulness, self-love, manifesting your dreams, and becoming the best version of yourself. So if any of these topics sound interesting to you, make sure to follow this podcast, rate it 5 stars if you really enjoyed, or maybe send it to a friend who might need to hear this today. And if you're really a big fan of this show, make sure to switch on the notification sign, but only if that doesn't overwhelm you, because I sometimes get too many notifications. But if you really enjoy my podcast, maybe do so, because I don't have this one day where I always post my podcast, so it can be a little bit all over the place. And I just want to make sure that you get to listen to the podcast if you really enjoy it. As I said, these last days, I was feeling, for some reason, really sleepy. You have to know I work with my cycle, so I'm very aware of what phase I'm in my cycle. And based on that, I kind of decide if I push myself or if I'm just like, okay, if I need more time to rest and slow down. Basically, I am currently in that phase where I'm supposed to have like a lot of energy, but for some reason, I don't have a lot of energy. And I can't even explain that feeling. It was like throughout the day, I never truly woke up. Like my eyelids were swollen and I was just like, I want to sleep. I just want to sleep. And I know that there have been a couple of things that I have been avoiding, and avoiding these things then created kind of that anxiety, frustration feeling. And then I just have been distracting myself so I don't have to think about it. And it was like this whole spiral going on. And sometimes when you're in it, you don't like already catch yourself, but it's like it goes on and on and on until you get to that point of, okay, this is what is currently happening. And that was basically the phase that I have been in. And I have a wonderful friend all the way from Canada, and we do weekly calls and do like a weekly reflection together. And having this call really, really helped me to see, okay, I don't need to write one more to-do list of how I can like feel better. It is not about like doing more. It is exactly about doing the opposite. It is about doing less. It is about creating times of silence, because I also recognize, since I was distracting myself as much, aka I was on my phone way more, and I downloaded a game on my phone, which I usually don't do, and I just realized that my brain just was so at high alert, and it was really hard to like have that time of silence. Because I think in general, I think I tell you that all the time as well. It's like you need to listen inwards to know what's going on. But I feel like doing that, especially when it is a time where you're not doing well and you're just like not happy, it is even harder. And I think I have been avoiding doing that. And basically we had this call, and it kind of like woke me up to, okay, I need to figure out what is going on internally. And I did that. I had some other plans for the rest of the day. I canceled it, and I really created the space to listen inwards, and it was so needed. And I have been watching, I don't know if you know the YouTube channel Yes Theory. It is like huge, like 10 million, almost 10 million subscribers on YouTube, huge. And they recently did a video where they went to some country in Africa without a phone. I think for a week they had no phone, nothing. And kind of their learning was that, well, life is supposed to be so much slower. And I think one thing I also realized with that is you go to bed so much earlier when you don't have a phone or a TV show or something that you're watching, if it's just like more silent. And life isn't supposed to be that fast paced the way it feels right now, with watching news, watching what your friends are doing on Instagram, and scrolling endlessly on your phone. Like that is just, I feel like that kind of creates that addiction of you're scrolling, and then you get even more into that habit of you always need something that is happening. And then when you're not having that, it is even harder to like fall asleep or do anything. And it's just exhausting. And all of that came down to me to realize, well, there was a time before we had phones, and that time was so much slower. And I think we as humans are not supposed to live a life that is so fast paced from one thing to the next and just like running around. We need to slow down and come back to ourselves and understand what is important in life. And especially these last weeks, I had a lot of conversations, and I realized, I think what our Western world is always working towards, I don't think that that is supposed to be it. Like always having more, and it's just like this race towards something, and we think that racing towards whatever it is will bring us to happiness, but it actually doesn't. And I'm just realizing more and more that the beauty of living is realizing the beauty of becoming. And it's not about getting anywhere, but it's about how you're creating that journey for yourself. It is about creating just good memories with people. Like, what is it that is really important? And by the end of your life, like when you're laying on your deathbed, what are going to be the memories that you have in your mind? And are you right now focusing your energy on the right things? Or is it maybe that you need to refocus in a way? Is it maybe that there's something else that you need to become aware of? Okay, well, this is it. And I think, I don't know how old you are, but I feel like in your 20s, you spend so much time overthinking what other people are thinking about you, or what you're supposed to do, and you're supposed to find a partner and have kids, or do you even want to have kids? Like, no. Like, all you gotta do is create memories and create a life that you're happy with, and create a life that, basically that's it. Create a life that you're happy with, where when you're 89 years old on your deathbed, where you're looking back and you're like, okay, I did the things that I wanted to do. I was courageous enough to follow that inner spark that I had, and I made memories. I fell in love, and I had my heart broken, and I had good conversation, and I had bad conversations, but I learned from it. And there's such a beauty in realizing, like, just the beauty of living. And I know, like, there's so much stuff happening, like so many horrible, horrific things, so many diseases, like there's so much out there, but I think we need to find a way to hold on what we have and what is beautiful. And you're so capable of creating the life that you want, and I want you to do that in a way where you're enjoying the path towards it, and not just racing towards something and then you're kind of getting there, but then you're racing already towards the next thing and not even realizing how beautiful you are. And I think there's something that I also realize these days is we connect so much of our self-worth to the things that we do, to the person that we become, to the skills that we build, and we don't even realize, like, you are worthy the way you are right here, right now. Like, you are worthy. You are worthy. You don't have to achieve anything or do anything to be worthy. You're worthy right now. And I remember I once watched this video. This was a professor at a university, and he had a 20 euro bill in his hand, and he was like, okay, I'm going to give these 20 euros to someone here. Who wants it? Please raise your hand. And everyone was raising their hand. And he took this 20 euro bill and he scrambled it all together, like really scrambled it together. And now he asked the class again, okay, who still wants to have that 20 euro bill? And everyone still raised their hand. Now he throws the 20 euro bill down onto the floor and he stamps on it like really hard with his feet. And then he picks it up and asks, okay, who still wants it? And everyone raised their hand. And basically the moral of the story is, no matter what you're doing, you're still worthy. Like, the 20 euro doesn't, like, it doesn't matter if it's like a beautiful 20 euro bill or if it's like stamped on, like, it's like you are worthy. You need to learn to recognize that about yourself as well. So what I want you to think about right now is, what is something fun that you wanted to do for a while, but you haven't yet? Like, what is something fun where you thought about, I wish I would just like one time go to a pottery class, or go to this type of event, or go swimming in a cold river, or like, what are these like core adventures that you really romanticize in your mind where you're just like, okay, I would really like love to do this one day? And I'm going to invite you to write a list of like all these things, even if you have been doing them just like a day ago, but this is something that it's just, that just gives you this good feeling. Write a list of all these little adventures, of all these fun activities that you could do. And I think before we talked about like using your phone and being really distracted and blah, 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 blah. I think what it made me realize, I think we forgot to spend time doing something creative in our lives. Like, we grow up, and especially like as women, maybe you get told, let's draw something, or you DIY something, or there's just that part of doing something creative. My job is being on my laptop, and I have conversations with my clients, obviously, and okay, that is not theoretically creative, but still I have some creative parts, but I realized like I'm lacking creativity. And I think creativity is also something that really connects you to your intuition. And what I want to invite you to do is like think about, what are some creative things that you love to do? Like, is it dancing? Is it singing? Is it making music? And have you been doing these things? And is there any way that you could do this more? Is it maybe that you also want to do something with friends together? And another, like, I had so many great conversations recently, but I also realized, okay, you get to set the vibe and set the energy when meeting with your friends. And sometimes we wait for them to kind of be like, hey, do you want to do this? But you can be the creator of this energy, and you can be like, okay, I would love to see my friends again, and I would love for us to just have a good creative vision board night, or I don't know what it is, something like that. And then you get to create that space. So really think about, okay, how can you create more joy in your life? Like, what are some simple ways you can just have more fun? For me personally, like, I love cooking, and I know maybe a lot of people don't like cooking, and the part that I actually love like almost the most is like chopping. Like, I am such a good chopper of like veggies or anything, and I'm just putting on music and I'm having my soul dance party and I'm cooking. And I think that is also the art of romanticizing your life. It's like there's certain things that you quote unquote have to do in your life. Like, you have to wash your clothes and you have to do the dishes and you have to cook and you have to clean. But is there a way that you can do these things with more joy and just make it something that kind of already feels like a self-care treatment? Like, because I know a lot of us, we don't have more time to like, let's go to a massage and have like if you have that, you go girl, do that. But a lot of us don't have that time. So how can you combine the things that you're already doing, but make it something that you're enjoying more? Make it something that you're truly like with your heart enjoying. And maybe if you're currently spending a lot of your evenings just watching Netflix shows and scrolling on your phone, which also, that's okay, because sometimes we are so exhausted and we just want to switch off, and that's completely fine. But think about, okay, is there maybe something else that you would like to do every now and then in the evening? Is it maybe that you want to do something creative, just put on a music and then you, I don't know, you dance with your partner, or you try to draw something, or you just do something a little bit out of the ordinary, or you want to write a letter to a friend? How do you want to? Because nothing is going to change if you're not putting in the work. So you need to figure out, okay, what is it that you want? And if you feel like this calling towards, oh, I want to have like more fun, I want to enjoy my things more, then find a way to do it. And I recently came also across a TikTok creator, and she's like all about how to make life more whimsical. And I don't know, there's something about the way she does her videos that are just awesome. But how can you make your life more whimsical? How can you give yourself that better feeling? Is it maybe that you want to like put on that beautiful, cute outfit that you have at home but you never wear? Then put on that, or put on some glitter with your makeup. I don't know. Like, do some things that just make life more whimsical and more beautiful, because you deserve to be happy. And yeah. So basically the gist of it all is, let's take life a little bit less serious. Let's figure out, okay, what is really the most important thing for you? Like, what is really the things that we need to value more, and what are the things that you have maybe put on too much value? So you can like really reflect on this and figure out, okay, what is the thing that I want to make sure that I appreciate more, and then change your life accordingly. And romanticize the little things. And it's not about romanticizing every little thing, but it's about creating this beautiful energy of, oh, let's do this a little bit differently. Let's do this a little bit differently. And I think part of it is also making sure that you have some time that you can just spend with yourself, on yourself. I also recognize that sometimes maybe you have a partner, you have friends, you're like always around with family or with people. You also need to make sure that you have time for yourself. And as I said in the beginning, that you get to learn to listen to yourself, especially if you're right now in a phase where you have been feeling really anxious and frustrated and just not the best. I want to invite you to take some time to really listen inwards, listen to what is going on, and be basically your own gentle parent and help yourself get through it, because you have been going through so much already in your life. and you got this. If you need any help with going for your dreams, I would love to support you. As I already mentioned a lot of times, I am an accountability and empowerment coach, and I help people go for their dreams. And we have weekly calls together where we really break it down, figure out, okay, what is the life that you want to create for yourself? What is like your true vision? And there's then a combination of really doing the identity work on like, who do you really want to become? And then going towards that. And at the same time, also, I'm that supporting factor from the side who's like helping you see the bigger picture and figure out, okay, what are the next steps that I need to take? And with that, I also offer a free one-on-one call that goes 30 minutes. And for the ones who are a little bit anxious girlies, because I get it. And basically how it works, I have a sign-up form down below. It is a Calendly link, and basically what it has, it is like there's a calendar where I have signed in all the times when I'm available. You can click on the time that works best for you, then you answer 3 to 5 questions, and then you will get an email with a Zoom link. And basically that day I take my time and we have 30 minutes a call, and I promise I am not scary at all. And we basically talk about your life and what you want with your life. And sometimes saying these things out loud could be really, really helpful. I promise you, I'm not scary. If you sign up, you get the Zoom link, and then the day that you booked it, we're going to have the call. And that's basically it. Yeah. I would love to help you with that. Otherwise, you can also DM me on Instagram at greta.webhofer, greta.webhofer. The link is also in the show notes below. And if you have any questions about what I offer and what I do, we can have first the conversation here if you don't feel comfortable like jumping on a call right away. But thank you so much for being here, and I will talk to you very, very soon. Bye.